Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I would like to explain about my product using Macromedia. Macromedia is a software that can be used to add dynamic aspects of a web or create interactive animated films. Macromedia can also be used as a medium for learning because in addition to animation capabilities, Macromedia is also able to handle interactive aspects between Flash movies and users or students. Let's go to my product on Macromedia. I take the topic about exponential and radical form. In the beginning, students can click the start button to start the learning process. In this menu, there are profile, goals, materials, and evaluation. Exponential and radical form for junior high school class 9 semester 1. In this main menu, I also give the direction or instruction button. Students can click this button. Start button is used to start learning using Macromedia and go to main menu. Direction button is a button that contains instructions on how to use this Macromedia in learning. Home button is a button used to return the main menu. Next button is a button used to go to the next view. Previous button is a button used to go to the previous view, and the exit button is a button used to exit learning this Macromedia. And students can click home button to go to main menu. After that, students can click profile button. This is my profile. My name is Nur Aini, name 1902937, class International Mathematics Education. And next, this is my course, Computer Assisted Mathematics Learning, and lecturer, Mr. Fridgo Tasman. And then students can click the home button, click the goals, basic competencies, 3.1, explain and perform operations, integer exponents, and radical form, and their properties. 4.1, solve problems relating to the properties of operations with integer exponents and radical form. And students can click the next button. This is about indicators of competence achievement. First, identify, describe, explain the properties of exponents form based on the results of observation. Second, solve real problems related to exponents and radical form. Third, use scientific notation or standard form to write very large and very small numbers. Then, learning objectives. First, students can identify, describe, explain the properties of exponents form based on the results of observations. Second, students can solve real problems related to exponents and radical form. And the last, students can use scientific notation or standard form to write very large and very small numbers. Then student can click home button and we'll go back to main menu. Then students can click the materials button. There are 5 subtopic: exponents, multiplication on exponents, division on exponents, zero, negative exponents, and radical form, and the last about scientific notation. First, students click the exponents. This is the material. Exponents are repeated multiplication of the same number. The general form of an exponent is a to the power of n is equal to a times and so on, with n positive integers as much as n. For example, the exponent of 3 is below. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 3 to the power of 5. 3 to the power of 5 is the exponent of 3. 3 is called the base number, while 5 is the exponent. Then students can click the next button. I ask students to observe this following table. There are exponent, multiplication form, and value. Then students can click the next button. I ask students to try. Observe the table and complete the table below. I give the blank box and students can input the answer in this product or in this media. Multiplication form of 2 to the power of 4. Students can input the answer and students must know the note for the multiplication symbol or times. You can type the letter X. So students can type 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then students can check if appear this view, it means the answer of student is true. Then students can back to the previous view. Then students can next for the next question, 3 to the power of 3. 3 times 3 times 3. And students can check. That's true. Then back, students can input for the answer. 4 to the power of 5 is 1024. Students can check. This is true. And for the next question, 5 times 5 times 5 times. Students can check. False. Please try again. It means the answer of student is false. 5. Then students can check. That's true. Then the last question, students can input the answer. Students can check and that's true. Then students can to the next material about multiplication on exponent. Multiplying two exponents with the same base. I ask students to observe the table. There are multiplication operation on exponent, multiplication operation, and exponent. This is the form in the table. Students must be to observe this table and next view, raising an exponent. I also ask students to observe this table. Then the next button, raising a multiplication of numbers. Observe the table below. I also ask students to observe this table about raising a multiplication of numbers. Then students can click the next button. I ask students to try. Simplify the multiplication operation and exponents with base A below. In general, the form a to the power of m in bracket to the power of n can be changed to. In general, the form of a times b in bracket to the power of m can be changed to. So in this activity, students can check and drag and check. Students can drag this answer to the blank box. Suppose this is the answer of the students. If students click the check button, false, please try again. So students can try again about the answer. If the answer is true, then check, then appear this comment, true comment. Then students can to the next materials about division on exponent. I also ask students to observe this table. Then I give the question for students, and students can answer in the blank box. A to the power of m over a to the power of n is equal to a m minus n. Check. That's true. Then students can go to the next view. Exponents of fractions. Observe the table below. So student must to observe this table. And then the next, I give the question. Students can answer this question. Let's students input or type the m. So if student check, it's false. For the form, the correct answer is n. So if student check, it will appear this. And then we next to the next material about zero, negative exponents, and radical form. Zero exponent, for every non-zero real number a to the power of 0 is 1. Algebraically, it can be rewritten as follows. A to the power of 0 is equal 1 for real numbers, and a is not equal to 0. And then I give the example. Then students can next. Negative exponent, for every non-zero real number a and n integers, then a to the power of minus n is equal to 1 over a to the power of n, for a is not equal to 0. A is a real number and n is an integer. And I give the example. Then next about radical form. Square root. This is read square root of a. If a is not negative, square root of a is a non-negative number whose square is a. And I give the material about root of n. This is read root to the n power of a. If a is not negative, then root to the n power of a is equal to b. Only if b to the power of n is equal to a and b is not negative. And second, if a is a negative and n is odd, then root to the n power of a is equal to b only if b to the power of n equals a. Next, about simplify multiplication of roots. I give these materials, and next students go to the last materials about scientific notation. Scientific notation or standard form of positive number is written in the form a times 10 to the power of n, where a greater than 1 and less than 10, and n is an integer. I give the example. Then next, notes for students. Numbers greater than or equal to 10, use a positive exponent when you move the decimal point to the left. I give the example. And then numbers between 0 and 1, use negative exponents when you move the decimal point to the right. And then I give the example. Next, will appear this evaluation. Or students can back to main menu. Students can click the home button. Students can click the evaluation exam. Students can read this instruction. Pay attention the following rules. Read the questions carefully. This evaluation is multiple choice questions. Choose the answer by click one of the letters A, B, C, or D. After you click the answers, you will automatically move on to the next question and cannot see the previous question. Click the start button below to answer the questions. And then you can type your name. For example, my name, and then click the start button to start the evaluation. For examples, I click the answer B. It's moved to the next question. Then I answer A, I answer C, I answer B and D. So click the button below to see your result. Students can click the view result. And this is my score for the evaluation. True 3 and false 2. If the students want to repeat the evaluation, students can click this button to repeat the evaluation. For example, I click the repeat the evaluation button. So it will back to the evaluation menu. I try to start again. B, C, A, B, C. I view the result. This is my result. And I can see the solution manual to understand about the question. This is the solution for number 1, and next for number 2, number 3, and number 4, and the last for number 5. Then if I click the next button, appear the question, are you sure want to exit? If I click the yes button, so I exit for the Macromedia. But if I click the no button, it will back to the main menu. So I click the yes button and I finish to using this Macromedia. That's all from me. Sorry for my mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.